What is up, guys? I'm the Senator, and in the past few weeks there have been a ton of Rainbow Six Siege leaks. There have been leaks of the new operators that may be coming later on this year, as well as these new reworks of Skyscraper as well as Chalet. Now, I'm not one to usually believe leaks, but whenever I see gameplay of the reworks or I see gameplay of these new operators interacting with an environment, I'm inclined to believe that these are real. No one's just going to make that up. So I'm inclined to believe that this is going to be very, very close as to what the Chalet rework is going to look like. And since this is so early and these are just leaks, what you're about to see may be subject to change. It probably will change before it goes into the live build of the game. Now, this leak was uploaded first by 0 Bytes. I tried to find the original post but could not find it. So I found it here on YouTube. It was re-uploaded by a guy named Semitrax. So go check him out, give him some credit for actually being the one to actually re-upload this before it got deleted from Reddit, or maybe it didn't get deleted from Reddit, but I couldn't find it, so I'm assuming that it did. But he's going to take us through the map, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions of what the biggest changes are. Before I get started, this is only going to be an analysis of the Chalet rework and not the Skyscraper rework. And the reason being is that I have not played Skyscraper since it was taken out of the ranked pool. I think it's been a year. So I don't remember much about that map. I don't remember all the callouts. I don't remember every little detail like I do with Chalet, since I play Chalet almost every day. So I'm not going to do an analysis over a map that at this point I'm really unfamiliar with, since I haven't played it in so long. The only thing I really remember about Skyscraper is that if you're attacking and you won karaoke in T, you'd pretty much guaranteed to win the whole match. It was that significant. So I'm not going to do that, but I am just going to do the Chalet rework. So let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that you'll notice before I even start the video is that there's no longer a balcony into the CEO, and the CEO windows are now impenetrable. They're not barricaded, but they're actually still plates, so you can't get into that. Also notice that there's no balcony over here, so it's going to be harder for the attackers to maybe open up lines of sight and play from the balcony, so now they'll have to play off the rappel. That is if they actually open up these windows. You'll also notice that this is now a sort of buffer to prevent people from getting spawn peeked, and they've been doing this in almost every map rework. They've been putting safeguards in place to prevent spawn peeking, but honestly at this point, if you're getting spawn peeked from that this late into the game, you deserve to get spawn peeked. You also notice that there's a map above the map and a floating tree. I don't think that's going to stay in the game, but who knows. Let's go with it. You notice that these windows are blocked in. That's probably going to change. He's going to open this door, and I want you to see the first thing is that as soon as you come in, there's no balcony overlooking the front door besides the library balcony over here. There's no longer a balcony that leads from library hallway, and no longer at this 90. So it is kind of a little bit safer going into the front entrance from that point. They've also removed the door into bar right here. The door to bar is now over here. And they've added this door, which leads, which is at a 90, which it can either lead to dining room, or it can go into games as well as bar. And you'll see that there's no longer a door on the right side where it used to be. And so they've moved it over there. You're also about to notice that the staircase that leads upstairs as well as downstairs, the fireplace staircase, is now 2 separate staircases and not 1. As of right now in the current build, you can be on this staircase up here, and you can look down at the person playing on the basement side of the fireplace staircase. So they've changed that. They've moved it back just a little bit. They've kept the hatch there, and they've added this window. Now, he's not going to show it in this video, but this is a window that actually leads onto the outside near the garage door. Now, you may be thinking that's going to be crazy for runouts, but they have like a little balcony set up to where if someone does run out of there, you'll know before they even get to you or able to shoot you. I think that balcony that's going to be placed out there is more or less just to prevent nitro cells from being thrown from these windows. So overall, that is a nice change. He's going to go upstairs, and the first thing you're going to notice when you come upstairs is you're not hugging this wall. As of right now, when you go up the stairs, you're hugging that wall, and someone who's in library can easily swing on you. Someone who's playing by this doorway can maybe back in here, can easily swing on you. You're also not exposed as much to the window that is always right here. They've now moved that window over there, because as of right now, as an attacker, you can play on that window and the defender can come up the stairs and immediately see your head and pop you. That's no longer the case. So that is interesting. Now, he's gonna promote himself, which is okay. He's giving us a video. Coming into library. Library hasn't changed much besides these windows. I'm not sure what is and what is not going to be barricaded in the final build. And a lot of you may be thinking that's going to be a problem if this is the only window that you're able to go through. But it's not that big of a deal, considering that they've gotten rid of this doorway into this connector area. So it's not that bad. You're not as exposed. But overall, I would like them to keep the windows the same as they do in library. But I do like there's no longer a doorway right here. Come to this mini area, they still have the hatch there, and the doorway's gone. Other than that, it looks pretty much the same. Coming to library stairs has not changed at all. And you notice that you probably can't see, I'm probably in the way, but there's always a hatch over here in this area behind my head. Let me see it. Yeah, right there. There's always a hatch right there. That hatch is now gone. And you'll also notice that they've added a wall right here and right here. So if you're a defender and you're defending what's it called, bedroom, you can say outside of bedroom and you can have a long angle down onto the top of fireplace stairs. That's no longer the case, so it's easier for attackers to push up fireplace stairs without getting domed from bedroom. And you're about to see that they've also gotten rid of the west main stairs completely, and they've added a new staircase, which I'll show you here in a minute. But no longer, west main is no longer really there, the stairs at least. And this is like, it's like a hallway, but it's like big enough to be a room. It's really, really weird. It's like a buffer room. But they've added a window there, and I didn't really show you. Let me go back. They've moved the window. I'll show you. The window used to be right there. Maybe it was right there. I don't know. It was looking down into that doorway. But now they moved it over here, so an attacker can't be on this window and looking down towards those stairs that are over there. So that's nice. Coming through this little buffer room, coming into CEO. Again, I don't know whether or not they're going to keep that barricaded or not, or impenetrable, or whatever it is. It'll be interesting to see. There's still a balcony, doorway. They've added, they've made it bigger, obviously. They've made office bigger. They've added more furniture, so that's nice. And they've added this little cubby area, which that wall will lead onto the top part of the living room. So you could maybe put a mirror right there and be watching fireplace stairs, or you could put a mirror. Hold up, he's going so fast. That's what she said. Put a mirror right there, and you can be looking down onto the library stairs. So that's going to be probably the play, and that's going to be interesting to see. Moving into master, you notice that there's like this little buffer right here, so you can play this angle as a defender. And they've moved the hatch, first of all. The hatch used to be on the north side of the bedroom. Hatch is now right here, and you're about to see why in a minute when we go into the kitchen. But they have moved that. That window stays there. And they have gotten rid of the balcony, which I like, because I think it's easier to attack without a balcony when you have this buffer room than having a balcony that leads directly into the site. So I like that. They've also added this closet right here, which is okay. I don't really care. And now we have a new room. I don't know what this is going to be called. Maybe plants. It's probably going to be the call out. And it has a staircase right here that's going to lead down into trophy. And I really like it. You're about to see why. Bathroom, haven't changed much. They made it bigger. There's no longer a window right there. Those are just showers, and the only window into bathroom is right here, which if you're going to put it into bathroom, I'd like it to be right there, considering that a lot of defenders love to just hide in the bathtub. So that's nice. And this doorway goes back out into this buffer room, hallway, whatever it's called. So now when looking at the top floor, I feel like it's going to be a more viable site to play. I'm not crazy about it because of all the windows and balconies that are up there. But looking at, this rework, it's not going to be the most viable site, but it is going to be more viable than it already is. Now he's going to jump down off here, and I'm going to try to time it right. You notice that when he jumped down, he spotted the bomb. But there's no bomb in here. They've moved the bomb site into the dining room, which makes sense. If they're going to put a staircase right here, if they're going to get rid of the west main stairs and put a staircase right here, then you wouldn't want to have a site that has a staircase on it. As an attacker, you just take care of those stairs. You get control of that staircase, you win the round. So they've changed that a bit. They've kept the hatch there. It'll show you West Main in a bit. Hasn't really changed here. Hopefully, I think that window looks smaller. Hopefully they get rid of that window because I hate it. And they have moved the hatch, which I showed you earlier. And the reason is because that hatch used to be able to look into trophy, which trophy is no longer a site, so it makes sense. But it does look as though this vent is going to block that line of sight, so we'll just have to see how that works out. So other than that, kitchen hasn't really changed that much. Let's go into the dining room. Dining room, this wall leads into the living room area. So maybe end up putting a mirror right there, or maybe right here, which leads into that hallway that I mentioned earlier, which you're about to see. They added a little bar here. And overall, it looks like pretty bare bones, considering like they don't have any very many textures. They don't have very many debris or anything. So hopefully they added a little bit more like furniture junk or more cover, because right now it looks very, very bare bones, which I assume they'll fix. Okay, and you're about to see that they have completely gotten rid of the west main entrance, which I'm okay with. I don't like west main because that staircase is there. I don't want a staircase next to a huge open door that is in the center of the map. I like this. This is more like a buffer room between the sites. Overall, I like it. It seems like the only entrance into this room is this window, and there's also another window on this side where the stairs used to be. So that is interesting. Coming down this hallway, this is that 90 that I told you about that leads into the living room. You can either go towards the dining room or go towards the bar and games room. Looking at bar, this is that doorway that I showed you at the very beginning. As soon as you walk in on the left, there's the doorway, and so you can rotate in and out here easily. And there's also another doorway right here that leads into the games area, which you're about to see. He skips it here. That room didn't change at all. Let's go back and look at games. That doorway now leads into games. He doesn't go into that hallway, but there's no door here. And so it's going to be really, really weird if they get rid of that door that's right there. This site, in my mind, becomes a lot more viable if they get rid of that door. Maybe there's a door in that back hallway. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But this site to me looks, it's clearly probably the least viable site on this map, but it does look more defender favored than it has been. So that's interesting. And they kept the hatch there. I think they moved it towards the north just a little bit, and there's a window right there. So just the biggest change is that doorway that leads towards the bar. This spot now, he doesn't show it, but I think that right here, this is a 90 that leads back into this back hallway and goes into a doorway that leads into barrels. And if that's the case, it's going to be a lot easier for the defense to defend blue. But the thing is that the defense isn't able to defend blue. If they give up blue, I don't think they'll be able to come back from that, because this hallway, from what I've seen and what I think, this hallway leads to a 90, and that's automatically going to lead down into barrels. So if you give this up, I don't think you really come back from that. So being able to put a smoke right here, and he can be able to defend blue, is going to be a lot more viable. Blue's already important to defend, but it's very risky to have somebody set up in blue, because if they're getting pushed and they have to get out, they can only go towards into Snowmobile Garage, and they'll be exposed from the garage door. Now, since there's another back hallway back here, he can just fall back into barrels. So that's very interesting, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. Let me go back, because he's going so fast. It's skipping a lot of stuff. You'll notice that there's now a half wall right here to protect those from who want maybe defend the staircase. Hopefully they move the bomb to maybe like over here, because the bomb is always in the way on that angle. They moved the trash cans, so maybe it's behind that toolbox. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see, because it doesn't really show it very well. Actually, no, the trash can's still there, so you can probably still plant there. This connector room hasn't changed at all. Now, barrels has changed quite a bit. As you can see, there's now these like a barrels out right in the center of the map, not the center of the map, the center of the site. And you're about to see that they've gotten rid of wine closet. There's that doorway, so it's got pipes, and so the other one had pipes. So this leads into blue. So now there's 2 entrances from site into blue. And again, get somebody to defend blue, it'll be a lot easier, but once they've given up blue, it'll be very hard to win this site. So that's going to be the most important part to defend. They've gotten rid of wine closet. They kept that destructible wall there, so that is interesting. I like that it's no longer just a huge linear line of sight through the site into that connector. I always hate that, so that's nice. It just looks wider. You may have noticed that this entire thing looks wider. The map looks wider. The hallways look wider. That's just because of the aspect ratio. So don't think that these maps are huge. Looking out into this back hallway near trench, this hasn't really changed much. Garage has not changed at all, other than there's no longer a a hatch right there. They removed that hatch, which I kind of agree with, because as an attacker, taking control of this can be very difficult if you have somebody playing on those hatches. So that's nice. But they've kept that hatch right there. So not too bad. And I think, is that about it? Yeah, that's about it. He's going up these stairs into the west main. And yeah, there's that window I told you about earlier. So overall, I think this is a great rework. Again, this is just a leak, and it's probably going to change. It could change significantly before it comes to the live build, and they may do that considering that there's a lot of videos of this, and I'm making a video on it. So I don't know. I don't say that to say like they're going to listen to me and say, oh, the senator made a video about it, we have to change this. I'm not saying that, but a lot of people have seen this leak, and so maybe they want to change it to keep it interesting. But overall, I love this rework. Chalet is one of my favorite maps. A lot of people don't like it. It's one of my favorites, and I understand why people don't like it. It's kind of stale. There's only like really 2 good bomb sites, being basement and kitchen. And with the change to kitchen and getting rid of trophy and not getting rid of trophy, but adding a staircase in trophy, getting rid of west main, and I think the upstairs is a lot more viable now than it has been, and we may see a shift to where people will play that more than they play kitchen. I'm not say that's going to be the case definitely, but that may be something that happens out of this. Bar hasn't really changed that much, other than being able to have a rotate from bar through a back hallway into games. In the basement, just the biggest thing about the basement isn't that they've gotten rid of wine closet, but they now have a way to go from those blue stairs all the way into barrels, and that's insane. So it's going to be interesting how that is played out. So again, overall, great rework. I'm excited to see this come to the live build. Maybe they change it, maybe they don't. We'll have to wait and see. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and sorry that I'm not going to be doing one over Skyscraper again. I don't feel comfortable doing one over Skyscraper, considering that I haven't played it in over a year. And so I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know every single, thing that's been moved in Skyscraper, because I don't. Haven't played it in so long. So sorry about that for those of you who wanted to see it, but this video does also go into the Skyscraper rework. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link to it down below in the description. And so that's about it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and drop a like. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you can be notified every time I post a video. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. I am the Senator, and as always, have a good one.